what they're really playing for here long term, along with, of course, that better spot in the playoffs. And speaking of, let's immediately just fly into the knife and see how this is going to go. See who gets the upper hand. See if it's going to be Hellraisers off to a good start, or, of course, Nexus, the fan favorite, so to speak.
Well, we see some knifing going in favor of Hellraisers, so most likely they will be starting on the CT side, as it usually is rather favored for, of course, this map. Wouldn't be surprised if at least Hellraisers will be able to once more win their pistol round. They've done quite well so far. And, well, I'm curious to see what Nexus can do. They've played this map before. It was a commanding win, 16-4 against the side of Apex. If they can just do a repeat of that, I think Hellraisers will be out for the count, at least on this map, and then maybe on Vertigo to bring it back. But once more, looking at that Inferno win rate, it's rather strong, but still is not the primary map for Nexus.
Nope, it is going to be interesting to see how they play that out and who takes the, well, upper hand there, and if, of course, it does go to Inferno. As I said, we're both kind of expecting that, we're both banking on that going to happen. But let's be real, we've seen 2-0s today. We've seen, well, two 2-0s today, as a matter of fact. So it could very well happen that one of these teams are just going to be a bit more up to par. Oh, this is aggressive by Hellraisers, pushing up on that middle position. And that does mean the frag on Aimee.
And there will be a little bit of utility flying towards the B side, and also control being gained. B currently being played on retake for Hellraisers. But of course, they also have some pressure from short. Kalinka with already another frag for himself, as he will go down to Raga. It will be JR with a double refrag of his own. Now only Seminse alive. And he will come in for a 1v3, already collecting first, yet not knowing where the other players are. We just check to be sure. The last time these teams, of course, also approached, well, in the best of 3, it was a 16-11 on train in favor of Hellraisers. We won't be seeing that map this time. But the second map they played, multi-pick of Nexus. It was Mirage back then. 16-7 for Hellraisers. And they're already starting well with the pistol round coming in. So I'm not saying I'm worried for the side of Nexus, but it doesn't look too favorable on at least this map. But, well, of course, they could have learned from it.
Yeah, they hopefully have taken their lessons from it. That's what you always hope for. And that's what you always hope to see. But it does have to be kept in the back of the mind, Right now, we are seeing a pretty standard eco from Nexus here in the second round. Did obviously not get a bomb plant, so don't have that extra cash bonus to work with. And, oh, Raga, serious nade damage that he's got to tank there. Going right against him. Now we'll see, of course, if well, that continues. It looks like J-Lime, he starts it well. He gets the eventual frag. Raga taken out, and, well, BTN, of course, as we're going to call him now. For a moment, I wanted to say BT, but we are going to stick with BTN and JR. That is lovely play there with just the P250, and Kalinka can get the famous frag. And that leaves only Aimee up at top mid. J-Lime going to push him now along with the rest of his teammates. Gets the frag. Flourish, actually, who behind him. Did you see that?
Yeah, of course you have to sometimes do some juicy stuff. By the way, I also checked why they would have actually not gone for Dust 2, because Hellraisers is quite strong on their aim.
Yeah.
Not just at overtime from the previous match, but the last time these teams actually faced in a best of 1 on towards Dust 2, it was in the MDL.
Yeah.
It was actually Nexus bringing it rather close, 16-13. Still a win for Hellraisers. But, well, seeing it get that close, Hellraiser was like, well, I think we would do better on Inferno. It's unproven ground.
Yeah.
They can at least try, and of course, now they will try to go for a little bit of more mid-aggression. There will be a kill coming in on towards one of the Nexus players, but then the B side will be open. JR missing a shot on towards the player in Apps. Yet where is that bomb? They don't have it. It's currently still at T-stairs where they do have that B side control. And as the wood will be shot open, there will be a player there. Zello will go one. For Raga still on side, will get another, but the trades coming in quite favorably for the side of Hellraisers, and Flarage might go for a little bit of an overrated. Ime is standing by. He will eventually not get a frag in. That means it's still a 3-on-2, and they can't deal with Flarage just yet. As JR moves in, great flick on towards Seminse. And that's going to be JR missing his second. Well, he's now forcing it in towards a 1v2. 1 minute left on the clock. And Ime now trying to go for most likely a plant at one point, hoping to at least make some money for his team and at least force the issue on towards his opponents. Now going towards short. But there is a player standing close by the pillar, and
He's made
well,
noise.
J-Lame will eventually hear him, and that will be the kill coming in 3-0 for Hellraisers.
But I don't understand really, why doesn't he take it a bit more slowly? Like, it is pretty likely that someone's going to be pushed up on short, right? You can assume, okay, there are 2 players left, they're probably going to be split up, there's probably going to be 1 on B, 1 on A. But then he still decides to just say, oh, I'm just going to hop happily through short, you know? Like, it's...
Well, I think he was hoping that the Hellraiser players would go either for a CT or somewhat of a group up. And, well, the moment you start now trying to press time, go somewhere quite aggressively, it's easier for yourself to make it a little bit more doable if they do eventually have to have a long rotate. The moment you get the plant in and you don't have that much intel yet, it's easier to play with. Problem is now Nexus on towards Nico, already lose a player, and already lose a lot of HP on towards Raga as well, moving up with that Deagle. By the way, the extra player listed on towards the Nexus player sheet in our pre-game. That is actually the coach of the Romanian squad.
Oh.
As of course they are always
It's a
helped
coach.
by SXE. As Ime will get 1 kill in return with his Deagle, looking for more. In shadow there will be a player, and he's looking at him.
Oh.
Beautiful 1D from the Romanian god himself. As it will be eventually Seminze also going down. Lime actually getting 2 kills of his own. That will mean only BTN is alive. And apparently he will now most likely die, and indeed he will, but after a kill of his own. In the Romanian scene, he's often referred to as Father B.
Really now?
Because they sometimes just call him B, and, well, sometimes you hear bees just zooming around, and he was a little bit of a bee zooming around the side of Hellraisers, at least getting another kill with the Deagle, doing a little bit of damage. There will be a buy, however, from the Nexus side this time. 4-0, however, for that CT side of Hellraisers. And they seem to be rather strong, at least from the get-go, towards the map pick of their opponents, and that is rather concerning. Zello, however, with the opening kill on towards J Lime. That means we now have a 5-4, and Nexus actually has the opener for a change.
And that might be the start that they need. They've also got that full buy going for them, which means that now, with the 4-round advantage for Hellraisers, they might finally be able to turn things around a little bit. Of course, as said before, a bit of a fan favorite or chat favorite is maybe the best way to put it.
Oh, yes.
Team Nexus, and also clearly already gotten a spot in your heart. Now, that is some serious damage on Raga, though. The nade did get thrown back at a problem, but it's still a bit of a problem. It's still a serious chunk of his HP gone.
BTN will eventually move up towards mid with one of his teammates. Bomb currently on the ground behind the top mid area. And like the problem is that, of course, Hellraisers now has a player less, but there's still that AWP which could easily equalize the player score. So far they're waiting, and indeed there will be some smokes being thrown towards at least the jungle area. Trying to block off something, but it's actually more of a connector smoke. That would indicate a B split. And there's only one player currently standing by on towards the B side, which is worrisome for the side of Hellraisers. But look at the time as well. 30 seconds left. The more there will be delayed, the better it will be, as problem is standing by. No utility. At least already some damage being dealt towards him with 20 seconds left. He needs to stop that bomb from going down. Rotate is now already coming in, but it's rather late from the side of Hellraisers. And his side has been taken for Nexus. They will be planting. They will have this round as well, because Hellraisers know they will have to go for a save. Meaning that, well, eventually they will now lose a little bit of their lead, but still get a beautiful exit frag on towards BTN.
Timing is everything, of course. It's a well-known saying. A bit of a shame for BTN there, but, well, actually, I don't dare say Nexus, if they've got the economy to kind of compensate for that. Of course, with the win that they're getting now, the bomb explosion, they should, I think, probably be able to buy him a weapon, and maybe it'll be the utility on one player that'll be a bit mediocre.
Well, so far Nexus will win their first round, and, well, deserved. They played it slowly, had an opening kill, and eventually decided to collapse on towards the side altogether. Easy frag to come in, as of course it was a B split, and they have a very good chance, and of course, to single out the players on towards the side. And now they have their first round. Dealing some damage on towards the economy of Hellraisers. They don't have that much reserve left. However, they saved quite a bunch of weapons, saving some money, having to invest towards this round. Also having an AWP, having some M4s as well to work with. Nexus themselves will build some reserve, but are still not really that rich. But one day, they will get there. As long as you believe, and I do too. Kalinka now standing by with his M4 on towards short. There will be some utility expended by that T side, yet no real pressure being set down. However, BTN already going to 40 HP. That's a little bit unfortunate for himself. But maybe he will come back soon as Molly's will already be thrown in.
And we'll see if BTN can still show up, of course, even regardless of his age, as some would maybe claim.
I will now check his age.
Of course, of course.
He's called Father B, and usually fathers are older than 15.
Really now?
Yeah.
When did you? How are you getting such up-to-date?
Statistics, man.
Really? Wow, that's mad. All right. Well, he can. You have a quick look at that, and we'll see if he can still grab the frag somewhere. And you look impressed almost.
He's only 31.
Oh, that's
old for a Counter-Strike player. That is rather old, but still, he's been racking up kills left, right, and center. A legend in his own right.
Wow.
Carrying the Romanian scene when he needs to. And getting frags, of course, even more often. Because that's what he does.
Yeah.
Bug, frag, and of course play some competitive games. And when I hype him up, he goes down. To Kalinka, double kill coming in. Him and Emag going down, and Sabinse also falling. Raga standing by on towards the trash can. But eventually he will be trashed by the players from that Hellraiser side, leaving only Xello alive. And how good he can be with the AWP, it's currently not showing, as it will be that 5-1 score and double up actually saved by Hellraisers. Having to go up against Nexus now with a less fortunate economy, but still a decent buy.
And that's a nice little, well, leg up for Hellraisers. So far in this first half, they've started off pretty confidently, honestly. You can see that they have that 4-round advantage over Nexus. Might be a quick either technical or tactical being thrown in there. A pause those happen. In the meantime, of course, look at that economy. He did say, was that a double AWP setup coming in then from Hellraisers?
Yeah, they saved yet another one, of course, getting the kill towards Cello and then trading the AUG in favor of the AWP.
I do wonder if that's going to play out well for them. You know, you've got that window position, I suppose. Well, where would you, if you have two AWPs to distribute, where would you put the second one? Obviously,
always on the B side.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have one in window and also on towards A, because window is, well, quite easily also rotatable, as of course you're more often than not being smoked off.
Exactly.
To be rotated towards a palace angle. If you do have two AWPs there, the moment flashes starts flying, the moment smokes come in, you can do nothing. Then you have one rifler on the side who's so alone and so desperate to not die, which, well, most often he will. So on the B side, you can still try to contest short, so you can take over that mid pressure in case your op has to go towards A or will be smoked off. Or you can go for an aggressive peek in towards the B apps, which makes it a little bit harder for then that T side to come through.
Sometimes a little bit of aggression is required, of course, on both sides, though. And I do think we've seen that a bit more often from Hellraisers, that they do sometimes dare to throw that aggression in the CT side, and that does gain them the edges and, well, the advantages that they might need to turn around to their favor a bit more quickly.
Well, we're waiting for the issues to be resolved, as, well, so far in the previous match as well, we saw Hellraisers have some internet issues, so I'm hoping this time around it won't be troubling them, as their characters currently not out of breath.
I do wonder if there's some sort of time limit on the duration of your technical pauses.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's.
I don't read rules because I don't have to follow them.
Boom. Exactly.
But I've had before that sometimes indeed in certain tournaments there is a certain time limit. Yeah, usually about 15 minutes to fix your issues, and otherwise, well, you have to either call in a sub or play 4v5. Talking about 4v5s. There used to be a Benelux team called Rage. I'm just going to go back to my memories in the esports scene.
Some Benelux history,
and they had to play an EZA match.
Yeah.
And, well, unfortunately, there was one player that couldn't attend because he already said he had to go to a wedding. And they didn't find a suitable sub in time, so they had to play 4v5 because they forgot to get a sub.
Oh, no.
Classic Benelux.
Of course.
The guy at the party, he was just, well, enjoying life there. It was a long, long time ago. And he was just eventually being called by some of us who were sitting at home, and we put him on speaker. And we said, hey, do you know how your team is performing? He said, well, they're most likely losing because they forgot to get a sub.
Yeah.
They were actually winning 4v5.
Really?
That's the biggest tilter you can have when you're playing an official, losing 4v5.
With a one-man handicap, and you're still being out-fragged and outperformed.
It was a great time to be alive. And we were already expecting them to lose, and we just checked in on towards the match. We're like, wait, they're winning? We got to call their fifth man and tell him what's up. And he didn't believe us until he checked himself. Well, it's 5-1 for Hellraisers. They did win the pistol. They did win a few following rounds, and Nexus eventually able to do something in return as they were strong enough to muscle their way up towards the B side, having a good read on towards the hold, of course, of Hellraisers, and, of course, having that one-man advantage in towards that round as well.
And the advantage there, the one-man advantage, as you say, clearly, sometimes it matters. Sometimes it doesn't, it seems. But that is also one of the things, we've seen that happen with Hellraisers, where, I think back to Flarage, we were to face off in I believe it was a 2v4 in the previous match. And, the spray down was on point. It didn't matter that they had a two-man disadvantage. They still absolutely showed up and got the frags. So sometimes, some teams, they make do. They manage. And the question is Hellraiser going to continue managing, or is it going to be Nexus that kind of makes do and start showing up, start showing them who's really boss?
As always, there will be a player boosted in towards the window direction. The problem is that Kalinka, meantime, takes down Seminse, but Ime will get one kill in return. It's going to be that 4-on-4. Kalinka already being tagged up as well. And, well, the big player himself, Zello, is still alive with that AWP. Seeing a player, possibly a ticket booth, jumping around. And indeed he will. Flick just missing by a tiny margin, as there's also a player in that shadow direction. Flarage standing by, holding the angle, possibly. Of course, expecting a player to walk out from that jungle area. Raga will get a kill, will be refragged by J Lime. It will be a nade going in towards Problem, but actually the op shot will hit first. And, well, now we have a 3v1. Kalinka trying to pre-fire, hoping to get down the bomb planter, but from the window area, there will, of course, be Ibe, and he will get that last kill in. 5-2. Nexus slowly coming back.
Slowly but surely. They have to do a bit of a comeback maneuver. I do believe that the Hellraisers, economy-wise, they should be fine. They can still put in the buy, and you want a clear. That was clearly pointing out, and yes, I know. I was, sometimes, right, you just make those confusing gestures. I just wonder what does he mean?
Oh yes, rather confusing.
You just wanted the mouse, so you can actually put in a cheeky mid-round.
I want to make sure that I have my money on towards Nexus because they're winning. That's the only thing I know for certain in life, and I will make you with what I said before. Despite them now losing the first player on towards Flarage, going really, really aggressive, I don't stop believing. I hold on to that feeling. And I'm going to go with the Romanian fans as JR now gets a frag on towards Cello as well. Raga will get one in return, but he will fall himself. And it's going to be eventually JR with, well, some kills of his own and his team eventually winning as well.
Well, Hellraisers, they do slowly and surely achieve this round, though. It gets them the 6th, and with that, gets them the advantage back that they had a few rounds ago. Well, one round ago, as a matter of fact. Now we'll see if that continues. You are putting in on Nexus Gaming, of course. You are believing.
Duh.
Of course. Duh.
Why wouldn't I believe?
Oh, no.
They're the best team around.
I'm not questioning your decision whatsoever. I'm very happy for you that you have such a deeply rooted belief in Nexus. Personally, though, as I said, I am putting it on Hellraisers this time round. I think that they'll just be better. Let's see if BTN can actually get the frag here at the end. Doesn't look like it. Problem also gets a free upgrade to an AK. And that is just a little bit of a cherry on top of this round for Hellraisers.
Well, Hellraisers currently 6-2 up, and they're doing a really good job so far. Well, at least, of course, now holding on towards that CT advantage. And they are actually able to extend it a little bit. Nexus, this time around, of course, also a little bit out of money. Meaning that, well, they'll be having to go on towards some pistols. 2 or actually 3 Rec 9s. Let's see if they can wreck that defense quite open as J-Line will fall back on towards short. It will be an ASEC on towards window. J-Line will get one kill in return, but will be dinged himself, saying, get out of the way. I have to fall back.
And Xella now, I thought he got a nade on him there, but that clearly wasn't as big of a problem. Problem, though, does get the frag on BTN there. Imer tries to hold from B-Apps or tries to frag, but he does not succeed. Seminse goes down as well, and Problem just continues, getting a lovely double kill there at the end, and for Hellraisers, the 7th round goes. So far, Hellraisers, slowly but surely, starting to move towards a convincing first half.
Well, so far it's going to be 7-2. Hellraisers doing really well, but now once more having to play up against a full buy. It's going to be Emet eventually not being able to commit on towards a kill. A little bit sad for him. And of course his team trying to deal as much damage as they can on towards the economy of the CT side, which slowly but steadily is increasing and becoming better and better. It's going to be, according to FidalGG, 70 chance to win for the side of Hellraisers. But, well, did they take into account that Nexus is great?
I don't know. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I think that remains to be seen depending on how the rest of this first half goes. Flarish's hold right now is waning a little bit. I do believe that he didn't get any frags yet, and Imer does open up the side there a little bit further by fragging out J-Lime. Goes to the engagement, and Problem comes in from jungle though. He gets a lovely kill there. Now Xello falls back onto T-Ramp, and Flarish here with the elevated position. Maybe this is what he needs. He jumps off now though, and oh, that was a painful engagement. He tries but fails, and Problem continues. However, Raga in the end refrags him, and we're down to a 1v1. Kalinka re-smokes, gets flashed, and now he's got that AK out. It's a battle of an AK versus an AWP.
It's going to be Xello to be rather low as well. Not the bomb currently in his hands as it's dropped on the floor. It's going to be Kalinka playing the smart game, going all the way around, all the way towards short. And here we can see them both trying to battle it out. Kalinka now dropping in towards the connector area. And Xello actually not picking up that bomb just yet. Should be aware of this position spot. The player goes for the peek. And Nexus will win the round once more. On towards the back of Xello. Such a strong and capable AWPer once more doing the work they need.
Clearly, Nexus's players coming out on top when it's necessary. Let's just hope for them that they can sort of continue their round wins now. Build up a little bit of a streak. We can see it here again in the replay. Xello at the right moment looking towards connector, and in the end getting the frag. Kalinka missing the engagement, missing his critical shots, and Nexus getting their 3rd round.
Easy comeback, do you already believe? Because I do, as we do see Nexus slowly getting their way in towards this match. Well, not really forced by from the side of Hellraiser, but Raga with an opening kill towards JR means the AWP has been dropped. 2 more players, however, close towards the B side, 1 at the pillar, 1 on towards the side. Kalinka getting an angle, trying to look for more, but on the wide fed. Oh, this is just played to perfection. Trying to pull the attention of Xello both ways. Of course, also the rifler that fell before, that was Raga, not being able to commit on towards yet another frag. A 4-2-3 situation. However, Ime once more will step up. It's going to be that 3-on-3 situation. Moving towards A. There's only 1 player here, but 1 is already rotating through CT. Players coming in. That's a first frag for him. Might go for a second, but a headshot will come in, and now we do see, of course, a player in CT making some noise. Oh, very good peek from Seminse. And there's so much time still left. The plan will go on towards default. Problem. Now bringing it back in towards the 1v1. The molly makes him know, of course, where the plan came from. But Seminsa not able to get in towards Tetris, meaning it will be yet another round for Hellraisers, 8-3. And let's not forget, the last time these teams played on towards Mirage, there was a 16-7 in favor of Hellraisers as well.
Solid point, man. Who knows if we're going to see a repeat of that happening. I'd hope not for your, well, clearly Nexus-filled heart.
Yes.
Yes.
My heart is green for Nexus.
Well, let's see what they pull off, you know. Isn't that more of a blue, their logo?
Well, their logo is blue, yet their hearts are green because, of course, as you can see on their shirt as well, green everywhere. And
solid point, I can't argue that.
Romanians apparently love green because I think their nature should be quite beautiful, from what I hear. As we do see yet another pause to come in, and, well, I do believe in that comeback. Hopefully on the CT side, but preferably still here on T. At least it might be a pistol armor now for Nexus. That might mean there is a chance of Hellraisers going towards double digits. And that would mean that, well, Nexus has a very hard battle to fight. But I'm just gonna hold on to the feeling, you know.
You always do. You always do.
It's
Don't worry.
It's a thing I need to do, right?
It's okay. It's okay. You know, you keep believing. You keep holding on. Indeed, Hellraisers. Maybe they will achieve those double digits soon enough, or maybe it will be Nexus that sort of continues again, that pulls back and that starts their own little winning streak again. They could have that chance. They do have the, they do make it incredibly close rounds, even if they lose them. So they make it quite clear that they've got the fight in them. Problem here now, he's waiting out with his, JR takes out Emer immediately. Tries to go for the second, but doesn't get that one quite immediately. Now problem still on the site though. Spray down is good. BTN goes down. The flash is better on him though. However, he gets the second, but the third isn't there. As Raga refrags him and now falls back onto bench and does get JR after he does take out Xello.
Ace clutch incoming, you have to believe, as Raga with 11 bullets will eventually be crossfired. 9-3 for Hellraisers, but the previous time these teams matched each other on towards this map, as I said, 16-7 for Hellraisers. It was a 9-6 scoreline on that CT side for Hellraisers, as of course they were able to pick there as well. And then, well, on towards CT. Nexus only won one round.
Oh.
So that's a little bit of a scary thought, but, well, maybe if they just get a pistol, maybe if they just start coming back now, they can still do it.
We'll have to see, of course. That's a bit of a question mark, as I have put it in the past. The statistics aren't everything. They maybe, just maybe, it's just a bit of a sloppy start. You know, they'll just have to get into it. They'll just really show up on their CT side and feel a little bit more comfortable there. Tilty this time being thrown in. Let's see if this is going to be a successful site take. It is, of course, very vital for Nexus to retake this round, otherwise Hellraisers will reach those double digits. Samintz opens it up well, Kalinka taken out, Imer goes for JLime, so that's a good start as well. 3v5 now.
That could have been a kill on towards the bomb planter, but it was Flash not actually going for the commit as the smoke dissipated. Raga with a kill of his own, and of course the bomb plant to come in. And we do see a save coming down from Hellraiser, so this might actually be Nexus with another round and possibly that comeback as well, trying to get it in towards a 9-6. Of course, it would still be in favor of Hellraisers, yet they would slowly get there in the end. And, well, I'm hoping, RJ, are you now starting to believe as well?
Oh, I'm going to need a bit more convincing, clearly. Hellraisers now still have way too big of an advantage for me to start doubting my prediction. Problem here, is he going to get a frag at the end? Yes, nice little exit frag for him. But it is going to stay with just that.
Well, it's going to be, of course, as you said, a lead for Hellraisers at this end of this half as well. But it's going to be at least a little bit of a momentum shift, possibly coming in favor of that T side. The buy for Hellraisers, they will have some utility. Even if a muzzle towards Kalinka and those weapons they saved, of course, also in the running. But there's an MP9, 2 FAMASs rather. And JR doesn't have a single piece of utility for himself, apart from, possibly if you would count it as that, the defuse kit. An A execute soon to come in from that Nexus side, trying to contest a side where only one player is currently playing. Another player from Hellraisers pushing that top mid. Of course, JR most likely in that window position, trying to help us out. But it's going to be a fader, trying to fall back or at least peel off towards the T-spawn area. And I'm not really sure what this is going to mean. Are they going to fake it once and then still go for that execute, trying to double fake out the side of Hellraisers? Because it might be 2 players now going for mid control. Of course, that utility will peel away any player towards the mid area, but JR standing by, gets the opening frag on towards B. And that will mean it's going to be 5-4, and they're trying to muscle their way through. JR going low from a nade to the face. Still, there's so many players left to find. In shadow, it will be Raga with the opening kill on towards Flash. Xello as well, taking down JLime. It's going to be another round, possibly, for the side of Nexus as the bomb goes down. And Again, not an aggressive peek coming down from CT. However, there was a gap in the smoke, and I think they could have actually seen the planter. Very good frag coming in from Kalinka. Xello once more stepping up with the AWP. There's still a player in connector as well, meaning it's going to be very hard for JR to move in. They will still try, but they will still fail as Ime and of course Raga will get those kills. However, Xello will burn to a crisp.
Oh, that's a nasty little, well, death to have at the end, but it is what it is. At the end, Raga and Ime can both take it home and grab that 5th round for the team. And so as we get towards the end of the first half, I do start to wonder, maybe, just maybe, Nexus might be gaining the upper hand here, slowly but surely. Especially if you look at the economy of Hellraisers right now. Very little for them left to work with. A FAMAS is the best weapon they have in total, and for the rest it's going to be based on those Deagles, and let's see if those Deagles can actually perform.
I just can't wait for Nexus to get to 12 points so I can sound like I'm doing Eurovision and say, Nexus, 12 points.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm getting ready because
You're
they
really,
will get there in the end.
I
am fully committed, RJ.
Clearly. It does make me wonder how you say 12 in Romanian.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, maybe I'll need Google Translate for that. Because they can also speak things. That's why I Googled the name of J Lime, and the Russian Google Translate said Jam.
Really?
So I thought it was Jam, but it wasn't Jam. It's J Lime.
Yeah, well, chat is there to correct us, thankfully. That is something that we've got going on our side. Now, another thing that we might need to, or well, that might need to be corrected is Hellraisers here. They're being punished at least. Ime gets the first frag, and that is JR taken out.
Such a good flash, but I think it also flashed out BTN, now falling back from that boosted position. That could have been an, well, not to say easy, but doable frag on towards J Lime, as BTN will get a frag on towards Flash, but will fall to J Lime himself. Ime, of course, standing by to refrag as ever, the support player of your dreams. And that means it's now a 4-2 situation. Nexus once more in a favorable lead in this last round of the first half. Will it be that 9-6 once more? Problem is trying to prevent it, as now Kalinka is moving up with the Deagle. Will deal a lot of damage but can't hit his other shots. Meaning his only problem and his flashes to come down from that CT area. But Siminse, he's not even trying to face because he knows time is of the essence, and the more time they waste, the more the chances are they are going to win this round. One good kill towards Raga, but Siminse with a refrag makes it into a 9-6.
That's a solid half from Hellraisers, but to be fair, plenty of resistance provided by Nexus. Also keeping in mind, of course, that it is Mirage, and we've got a somewhat CT-sided case here. Perhaps not the most, but there is maybe a good chance that if Nexus now ends up on that CT side, if they feel a bit more comfortable on it, and if that is going to be the side that they really, well, play in their element with, so to speak, then perhaps there is a chance that they push to that equalizer, you know? First milestone is getting to the 9 rounds. And then from there on out, they can see, they can look where they might get what they can achieve.
Well, it's going to be Hellraisers trying to win this pistol to extend their lead once more. So far, Nexus doing well on their T side to come back after quite a hefty deficit. Of course, if they do win the pistol, they will get rather close, as well there will be a chance of them, of course, bringing it into an equal score, and possibly even better. It's going to be, so far, Hellraisers playing it slow, possibly for a B-short rush, but Xello, 3 kills to come in clean, as Flarage will get one in return, but Father B ready to bring back, of course, what his son has just lost.
Yep, and that is a lovely start to the round there. Now leaving only Kalinka, and poor man does not stand much of a chance. Let's see, though, what he makes out of it. He may be able to get 1 or 2 more frags. But, of course, he does also have to get a plant.
Well, it's going to be, well, Kalinka standing here, no bomb in hand, at least behind enemy lines. And there will be a little bit of a pre-fire coming down from the player and connector, fully panicking. And now they will exactly know where Kalinka is. Will they push? Nah, no reason. Because why would you? They're just going to wait. They're just going to chill out and wait for things to come. As, well, I'm going to mispronounce 12 in Romanian right now,
yeah,
because I'm getting ready for it. Deutschprezze?
Really?
That's
Deutschprezze. Oh, Deutschprezze. I don't know. Oh, Lord. That's difficult. That is difficult. Need to find... Look at that, by the way. Excello with that lovely triple kill coming in again in the replay. Yeah, some people did try and throw us off our guard by saying something entirely different that, of course, will not be mentioned.
That's a classic.
Yeah,
that's why I always have Google Translate, because that never lies. It just messes up every now and then.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm sure they'll be able to tell us how wrongly that was pronounced and what we need to do to say it better.
I just can't wait.
What?
I can't wait for us to be, well, possibly laughed at as well. Ime is standing by with M4, of course, to get some kills. He will get 2. Beautiful spray down, goes for more, but the flashbang is too good. Zello will go a little bit low, but also with the last kill to come in. Clean and quick round for the side of Nexus. Only one more between them. And there would be a chance that they will equalize the score. And
maybe.
That would be the case. They could actually take the lead as well.
Maybe. Who knows? Ime, once again, with a lovely hold there from short. Played to perfection along with BTN. Now, if Nexus do get this equalizer, they are pretty much on common footing. It will depend if they can hold it off against this full buy coming in from Hellraisers. Utility and such is present, but oh, Excello here gets the initial frag. JR, though, coming in clutch with a double refrag, so to speak. Ime, though, he does continue, and JR himself goes for the 3rd kill of the round. Now, seeing with Rega and BTN being, or Raga even, and BTN being the last 2 people standing, what they are going to make out of it.
Well, so far the odds still in favor of Hellraisers. Of course, looking at the historic facts, they seem to be the stronger team. And, well, let's see if they can actually also win this round. The bomb slowly going towards A. Players from Nexus actually on short, being taken down by JR. BTN standing by to possibly have that 1-3-3 clutch. At least he'll get the 1st kill in. Now, not having a defuse kit, might want to commit towards that connector push and get close towards that side. However, J Lime is now moving in towards jungle. Hearing the player come, most likely get the kill, and indeed, no real opposition on towards that, as it is going to be Hellraisers once again regaining that lead.
And Hellraisers gets those double digits, only 2 people left. And by the looks of it, we did a pretty good job. Oh, okay, yeah. You know, that'll do, right? Deutschprezze. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, 2 to 10. Oh, okay. Well, look at that. We're actually learning.
We're learning so much stuff, and we're learning that Hellraisers is currently in that lead. However, it seems like Nexus is still able to buy pretty okay. And there's a chance that they will be able to, of course, bring it back with Excello going aggressive, however, being flashed. Currently in the smoke. And of course, people at home, smoking kills, don't do that. But Excello in this game can at least do it. Kalinka standing by. Where is the flashbang coming down from Nexus? Because they need one. And there it will be, Kalinka being blindsided. By, of course, Ime helping out his teammate. Upgrading to an AK. And Seminse might want to go there as well for that MP9 to be traded out. However, they have to just hold the sides as Seminta is currently on the balcony. Molly will go down in towards the shadow. And he's still standing there. The player in towards Palace will be killed. He sees another one jumping down on towards wood. That's a 4K coming in. Or actually a triple. Sorry, Excello did a little bit too much.
A little bit too exciting. No, but that's fine. That was a lovely triple from Seminse there. Very well done. And who knows, Nexus now getting close to that 10th round, and well, actually 10th. So that means that would be well, round number twice, I guess, for Nexus.
You're trying, but I'm not sure if you're actually succeeding. We'll find out eventually. It's going to be a force buy round from the side of Hellraisers. A Deagle without armor for GR. The rest will still have armor. 1 Galil as well to work with. But the problem is they have 3 Deagles and little to no utility. They're trying to still go towards the A side, however. They have just enough to smoke off some key points. As Flax is rushing in for himself with the Mac 10, trying to find some close range encounters. Nade damage still not really coming out from the side of Nexus, trying to play it close, and Seminse will fall down. Excello with a double once more. Means they still have a good chance. A player on 2 stairs, not really sure what JR was thinking. As there is also a player in towards Palace. 3 bullets left, Excello, you have to look out, and whew. BTN, of course, the father, the guardian angel, getting the last frag, and now the double ditches for Nexus.
Coming in clutch, you know, Father B. Well done by him, and that means an equalizer between these two. Nexus getting to that 10th round, and Hellraisers now kind of struggling. You know, they had a moment there where they were catching up or where they were extending their lead, but it rather quickly disappeared for them again. And you can see how, you know, the odds are also starting to still slim. They're starting to equalize around a little bit. And even if we have a look at the Vi.gg page, we can see it's a 50% chance to win for either side.
How about that?
How about that?
It seems like Nexus is really stepping up. Of course, this is their map pick, so they need to do well. But, well, looking at the historic data, they've already outbeaten their previous score. That was 16-7 in their previous best-of-3 engagement against Hellraisers on towards Mirage. And, well, so far they've won quite a few CT rounds, doing rather well themselves. And now there will be a small tactical pause to come out. And, well, no problem whatsoever. Nexus is just ready to beat whatever comes at them. They will actually build some reserves as well, which, of course, will favor them in the long run. As Hellraisers, it would seem, to be on yet another eco. However, J Lime actually on just $1,700. And Flair's not too much richer either, as he's currently on 100, more than his teammate. Deagles to come out, hoping for that highlight reel. But Nexus is so far doing well against those anti-ecos.
Yeah, that is a bit of a negative outlook for Hellraisers economy-wise. It means that they'll probably have to toss in this round and not stand much more of a chance. Hope for a bit of damage. That is always your best bet on, well, I guess you could call this a deco, seeing as it's a full Deagle loadout. And with that, I wonder what they might be able to provide going against Nexus, who are, of course, on pretty much a full buy, save for Samintse, who has that MP9. However, nothing wrong with that weapon. You can still get some really, really good, well, frags with that, and you do get that extra cash bonus.
Xello just chilling currently without an AWP. Against an eco, or at least a deco, as you love to call it. It's quite smart, because of course that AWP makes you quite rushable, as now Samintse with the first frag on towards J Lime, once again getting some extra money with the MP9. BTN also on the long range with the M4, gaining an advantage, but Flarage will take down one on towards Ime. And now we will see that 4-on-3. It's going to slow down a little bit. Hellraisers trying to test the waters wherever they go. And they might want to favor towards that B side as Cello is standing by. Should not really peek because there's a player holding the angle. But sometimes, or quite often rather, if you do have an H, you throw it on towards that area, as there might be players standing by and it's an easy chunk of damage. The B side take will soon come in from Hellraisers, however they don't have any utility whatsoever. There's a two-man stack already. And more players soon to come if they do commit. Cello with one. Cello trying to get a second JR with a frag on towards him. He actually gets towards the side. Will go for a plant as well. They can't deny this in time. There will be the wallbang, of course, with the pistol. But that's still a very valuable round. At least a very good round for the side of Hellraisers. Getting the plant with almost no investment.
No, that is the lovely bit of eco damage. And indeed that plant giving them the extra cash on top. And let's see now, Nexus has that 11th round advantage, one over Hellraisers. And the question being, are they going to be able to carry this forward? Are they going to be able to actually prove themselves, show that Nexus is the better team after all? That I also may or may not have bet wrong. Oh yes.
Never happened before.
No, absolutely not. But we'll see. Here we see again, by the way, JR committing to that plant. And definitely a solid move economy-wise, but of course still doesn't change the fact that Hellraisers is one round behind.
Well, of course, it was his sole thing to do as he was standing by. He's figuring, well, I have low HP, but I also have low time. I have to go for the buy and have all the money in the world for my team, $800 per person, of course, extra to be gained by doing just that. We're going to wait for, of course, Nexus to then, well, be ready for the next round. I believe it's an Hellraisers pause once more. And we actually bet
yeah, I
Nexus
thought
would get less than 14 rounds.
Well, yeah, I suppose it's 14. Yeah. Well, yes, based in the beginning when it was Hellraisers, they were still running like 5-1 or something. I didn't believe in the Nexus train. I know, but you know.
Now I know what a disappointed parent feels like.
Wow.
Because I expected better from you. I told you, Nexus is the best team in the world.
Yeah, but in the beginning, it was looking like a certain way. It was looking like Hellraisers, they were just on top of it. They were on top of the skates, and they weren't going to give Nexus that much more. And the odds were pretty favorable, That was almost a potential double investment. And you know how much I'm behind. You know how much of a deficit I have. So you have to understand,
Just
right?
a teeny tiny bit. It's only getting worse now.
Yeah, I have to try something.
Well, we're going to see what this round will bring, of course. Full buy versus full buy. AWP on towards 2 players on the side of Nexus. Both Xello and Raga will take one into their hands. As on the other side, only JR will bring one to the table. They're so far not really seeing anyone. It's Hellraisers waiting for aggression from that CT side, and well, aggression will be there. It's Raga seeing some players actually in towards that BFs, going towards underpass. So that's a very good call to come out. They might stack up some utility. Look at the nades still on towards Nexus. 4 of them. And I dare to say, easy frags.
Easy frags?
With frag grenades.
Oh boy, imagine. It will depend on where those nades will go. Now, first one being thrown. And a molly to delay. So far, a relatively slower round. Hellraisers not really committing to anything just yet. Until now, they might be trying to get through that connector position. Committing Kalinka to connector and hoping that he will maybe make that opening frag. But I do suppose that BTN could actually show up then the moment that it's needed. Hop out of window and frag Kalinka in the back.
Flash is coming down. It will be that ace plate for 3 people coming through the connector area. Seminse with the first kill will still be on towards the side, but BTN will fall. Kalinka goes for another on towards Xello. That is his CT pressure gone, but Seminse, he stayed alive for such a long time. That shouldn't be the case, but still he makes it work. And 20 seconds left on the clock with a default plan to come in. A nade could have dealt a lot of damage, but they are a little bit late. Throwing that work in as Ime is standing by on towards the side. 1 player CT, 1 in ramp, and 1 quite deep in towards the corner. Still that nade unused by Raga. Please just throw it in on towards, I believe, J-Line. But an AWP shot does the trick as well. Nade could go in towards Kalinka as well. That would mean a kill if they do manage to angle it correctly. As there is now a smoke on towards ramp. Flares has to move through. And IM will be taken down from the back. Kalinka still standing by. Still that nade being unused. And Kalinka will also get the last kill. Equalizer once more in favor of the Hellraiser side. Trying to get back and doing just that.
Well done by them, to be honest. The equal footing has been found once again, and we can start it back off. Now, of course, as you did point out, indeed, that I did bet on it staying under 14 rounds.
You still have a chance.
That would mean that Hellraisers now has to put down the perfect streak, and of course, that's what I'm hoping for. I know that you're hoping for something else, you cheeky fellow that you are. But we'll see. Clearly these teams are quite at each other's heels, on each other's heels even, at each other's throats, as I've phrased it before. And I think with that, it's likely that these rounds are going to be thrown around and around, a bit like a game of ping pong, where the ping pong ball keeps getting tossed back and forth.
A little white ball going from side to side as BTN is standing by. His MP9 in hand, just biding his time, waiting for Jay Lime to come in and maybe have a party. He's fallen back a little bit to at least give himself a better chance of falling back whenever there might be an engagement. And Jay Lime and his opponent both going for those shoulder peeks. They might have had a very cute showing of each other, but well, they should be worried because, of course, there will be another A split. Oh, the smoke will dissipate just in time. Xello, the first frag on towards Kalinka, key player in the last round. As always, actually, as BTN now takes down Jay Lime as well. Upgrades to the AK. And this might mean there will be a very strong A-side defense. Smoke goes away. JR goes down. Bomb dropped in the ramp position.
And we'll see now. This could be a round, most certainly, for Nexus. Hellraisers only have a 2v4 situation how to work out. Problem, a very good turn to short. Deserved second kill for him. Now pushing ahead. Sees that smoke being tossed from CT. Flarich gets Semense. Oh, this would be the turnaround of the century.
But they don't have the bump yet. Nexus can just play time because they still have to go towards ramp to get that bomb. Ime is trying to fight. He will get 1 kill. The spray not connecting on towards second. Why is RP coming in while BTN does it? However, he should know that the bomb, of course, was still in ramp. At least the round goes towards Nexus with a triple kill from Father B. But it was rather dangerous looking at how the round progressed, and until the end there was a very good shot of Problem and his team winning the round over aggression, I dare to say. You have bomb control. Why would you then go for the peaks? they figured, well, maybe we have a pincer. There's a player on short, there's a player then walk, or at least watching towards the connector area. Yet, of course, there's a player on towards stairs. There's almost always a player on stairs if they have connector control. And they tried to play it out correctly on the side of Hellraisers, just coming in short in the end. Ime and BTN being rather clutch.
We'll see if Nexus now continues this advantage for themselves. It is, as I put that ping-pong game that we're seeing, where it is very likely that Hellraisers will now pull it back themselves, and where it is this exchange of rounds. And who knows, before we know it, we could be seeing overtime again. We've seen it in the last match today, and we also saw it in the match before. So you could say that, well, both of these teams have successfully, important to mention there, brought out an overtime. Both times that they both faced a first-time overtime, and both times that they also got the win in that first-time overtime.
And also both 19-17.
It's 19-17, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I wrote it down wrong for the previous match. Oh, no.
Oh, you silly, silly man.
Oops.
Luckily, you have me to back you up.
Indeed.
As the tactical timeout has been called, most likely by Nexus, or maybe Hellraisers. It depends on whoever said, well, the round went a little bit south for us. I think Hellraisers had some problems, but Nexus as well, over-peaking in the end. Oh, JR completely flashed. Has a very good pre-aim and pre-fire on towards Cello. Yup, going down. BTN now on towards short. Standing by for a possible push to come in later. Problem now taking care of possibly the player pushing on towards B-Abs, but he can fall back most likely safely. As JR himself once more flashed, also tagged down, I believe, through the smoke. As Kalinkin also goes towards half HP, but still he has to fall back. It is an angle he cannot contest anymore. Will this be the short boost on towards the bricks? I think it will be. And Kalinka, he might be expecting it, but not in time. Ime with a kill. And that is the equalizer in towards his route. Still, of course, the AWP in towards JR. But apart from that, 2 deagles and an AK and little to no utility.
And utility, we've mentioned that many times before. It is one of the, most important things in, I dare say, the entire game. It is the thing that will open up your rounds, your sights, or just as much defend them. Also, by the way, I just realized, Nexus just got their, oh dear, I'm afraid to say, dois prechese, sort of, that round. I think, I think that might be it. I think that might be getting somewhat close.
Very nice, getting here, as we do see, of course, indeed, that lead for Nexus. 12 points for Romania.
Yes, you can
it's
say
going
it
to
like
be a problem trying to get that first kill in, but eventually it will actually take down Ime. Ooh, JR also wallbang on towards BTN, and there will be a player lead for just a little moment, as there will be the molly taking down of JR again. The bomb to be dropped, no time at all, and Siminse with the last frag as well makes it in towards a round win for Nexus. 2 AWPs to be saved, and it seems like, well, so far I am right, but of course, I've betted on the entire series going towards Nexus. And this is only the first map, which is their map pick.
Did you actually specify the match result, or did you just say Nexus win?
General winner, Nexus.
Okay, bold move.
Because they're just generally a better team, in my heart. Not really statistically. Because, of course, this is the third time these teams will play within a week's time. And the last time around, well, a best of 3 going to Hellraisers and also a best of 1 going to Hellraisers. There was a 16-13. However, we must also note it was a 0-8 lead for Hellraisers come back upon. Raga now with a frag on towards, of course, Flares going on towards the B side aggressively, trying to fake it out for his team so they can get a plant on towards A. But Xello stepping up once more before stepping down the stairs. Of course, after being headshotted by JR and the Tech 9. A rather clean round nonetheless. 2 AWPs, of course, still taken with him into yet another round with a 14-11 scoreline. They're getting close. Close to a map point. And close to winning their own map.
And that, of course, would be a wonderful start to this best of 3, where indeed this being their own map. Well, Nexus, Mirage, it could work well. Of course, then we would be heading to Vertigo after this, and Vertigo maybe would go a little bit more to the sides of Hellraiser.
Oh no, a molly messed up on towards the side. It's Nexus. Well, luckily not dealing any team damage with that, but well, it does hurt you. Just like it hurts to see JR get an open kill towards Cello, but Siminse ready to reply. J Lime in that Palace area. Of course, with the main upper now gone for Nexus, I'm not too sure if Palace will still be contested by the remaining CT side. Players from Hellraisers now boosting in towards window and actually getting another kill. But that's on towards the A side as Siminte wants to actually focus on towards J Lime. A little bit of an over-aggressive move in my regard because, well, it is an angle almost always being contested, at least on a default. And as you can see, that Hellraisers so far on buy rounds have been going towards that A side quite often. It's not too weird, they are actually putting players toward that position as well. Bomb to be recovered. That will mean that at least Hellraisers can once again try to go for B, but look at their mid control as well, or at least jungle control. Kalinka standing by, looking through defense, almost spotting out the hopper in towards market. Raga standing by for a possible push to come in, but curious to see if Kalinka will then make some noise just before they go there to at least draw fire, and I think they have just done that. Raga will go low. Raga moves up a little bit, gets the first frag on towards Flarage. Now throws in a smoke to cover himself off and possibly also his exit on towards the side if he does decide to do so. Kalinka standing by, still in towards the window position. 3-on-3, the bomb has been planted. Ime now moving up. There's another player now in towards jungle. BTN, good timing! And that's now a player lead for Nexus. They have 2 defuse kits, but they also have some utility to work with. Molly's being thrown out yet, not really at the right position just yet. Problem standing by close at this window. The smoke actually blocking him. And they are currently disregarding Raga getting 1 kill. Problem getting 1, but eBay, of course, getting a kill in return. And the defuse kit will make short work of this round. 15-11. And Nexus now with a map point. Are you believing?
I am starting to believe, yes. That was a solid re-peek as well there at the end. And I think thanks to the flank there by BTN, sort of in that window position, taking out, well, Kalinka there, that might have actually been the critical moment where Nexus got this round in their hands. Now, of course, Nexus being 1 round away from potentially winning Mirage. And let's see, take a look at Hellraiser's economy. They've got the weaponry for it. They've got the utility. That is all in their favor. But, of course, they do have to face off against the CT side. And, of course, as we've many a time said, CT side is a little bit favored. So maybe, just maybe, that slight bit of favor will now also help out Nexus. Kalinka here is coming from that underpass position. Could be making a bit of a difference, but the smokes for now still delay the game. Excel already looking towards mid, and who knows, before we know, they might be getting that initial frag. They might be denying Hellraiser's opportunity, and there it goes. Ime takes out Kalinka, and Simmente goes for the second. J-Lime does manage to throw something back, but it's still the 1-man advantage for Team Nexus.
Molly's to be thrown out on towards that A side. However, no commit coming in just yet. So there might be a little bit of an over-rotate from one of those B players moving towards CT. It's still, of course, JR trying to contest at the window area. Something we saw in the previous round as well. And just to go back on towards that, we saw at least Kalinka standing there quite strong, doing a really good situation of him holding there. However, we should also highlight that BTN played it even better. Waited for one of his teammates to run past quickly. Ooh. And then able to at least bring it back. JR now getting a frag on towards Ime. Now also having to escape the fire, but coming back after. No, it's going to be Raga. An upper for the side of Nexus, picking up the pistol. And now with 20 seconds left, they have to commit towards the B side. No player standing by from Nexus, apart from, of course, Raga rotating back on towards the side, and he can't deny this plant at this moment in time. He will hear it go down. He knows the rest of the team will be rotating. But again, it's a 3-on-2 situation with those 2 AWPs looking for a peek to come in from the side of Hellraisers. It's going to be hard, however, because Hellraisers knows there are 2 ops, so they won't be too aggressive on their checks. And there isn't too much utility to work with for the side of Nexus. Flashbang now to come in for the close corner. No one actually there. 1 bench, 1 on side. Flair standing by. He will get a 1-tap. He will be traded out by Raga. Good retake so far. But it will be J-Lime getting 1 kill in return and 1 round as well. For Hellraisers now to go towards 12. But yet there are many, actually quite a few map points left into play for Nexus. Also having some reserves to buy in towards this round.
A whopping 3, you could say, if we counted those map points up. And we'll see Nexus, they do have the reserves, I believe, to nicely buy this round out. And with that, we'll be seeing Hellraisers facing off again against quite... Oh no, never mind. Totally miscalled that there, gotta be honest. That was just
tested you there.
Yeah, exactly. That was just a pistol upgrade, and I based it off the wrong amounts that I saw there. Of course, those kind of mistakes can happen.
Meanwhile, Players is just holding the angle, gets the first frag in with his Galil. Actually, the buy currently for Hellraisers is not that great. 2 Galils, or actually 3 Galils rather. 1 AK and an AWP. If Nexus had a little bit of money, that would have really worked out well. As Seminsa being tagged up by the Molly now has to go towards Shadow. There's 2 Deagles still left standing for that CT side as this wallbang almost takes care of the player down there under wood. It will be Raka going down, but Ime with the Deagle once more being able to commit on towards a kill like we've seen him do many times before. But, well, we would assume this round to go towards Hellraisers. Bomb going towards top mid, might go for an ace, but if they do get more kills, and with the aggression coming down from the Nexus side, it is actually possible. Seminsa is low, but still on that wood place as he's waiting.
I mean, in this case, I believe that Nexus is playing this out admirably. You know, Seminsa, like you say, he is on that wood spot and he can just wait it out, maybe go for that Palace engagement, or we'll wait for the Palace player to push out. Ime, indeed. Here, waiting around mid. He could maybe still snoop a frag or 2 off them.
Wait, how did that happen?
Well, Seminsa probably pushed through and ended up getting killed.
Yeah, but like he was already in, then tried to walk back out, and that's a little bit odd. 20 seconds left. Jay Lime will get the last kill on towards Ime, and that will mean it will be 15-13. Still 2 more rounds, of course, for Nexus to try. Yet they will really need to make it happen towards this one, because now they are buying up whatever they can, leaving no money left unspent, apart from, of course, Sugar Daddy BTN.
Ooh. Very fitting, of course.
Oh no, he just spends it. Never mind.
Oh,
I won't speak again.
Keep dreaming. It's okay, you know. Well, the point mainly being Nexus is spending the money now, throwing around the dollar bills, and let's see if they can actually make those work. If they can actually turn that into a round and, of course, map win. It'll all get down to the critical plays here. It'll all get down to the fact that Hellraisers should be denied trying to actually get around here, trying to get onto a site for starters. Rega's position here could be good if they do end up pushing through that, but at the same time, J Lime could also be a thorn in their side coming from T-Ramp.
It's going to be a problem just moving up towards the BF's area. Xello holding the angle with the AWP, hoping a player from Underpass would actually come up, but oh, that's a good flick on towards the T-side player. He's now also contesting, meaning the other player, of course, not really to be expected there. However, sometimes when there is that op guy, you do expect possibly a little bit of support. They're now smoking it out. That means Flarage can't really do all too much to get some map control in. This might mean, however, that Hellraisers will go for it. They execute it with the smokes coming in. They will. Seminsa staying in the sandwich. A molly will fly by. He's quite lucky not to be contested, as he might actually get a frag in. It's going to be BTN the first. They're still holding on. Flashbang to come out. That's a great flash. And a kill to come in from Ime. BTN as well. Only Flash alive in that 1v5. And Nexus, can you do it? Well, yes, you can. Seminsa a little bit of a cheeky play in the end, but it's going to be 16-13, and they do win the map on towards, of course, their own pick. Now going towards Vertigo.
You get a solid and deserved. You were right. You said so. Absolutely. You got this. I give it to you. You know what? I was wrong. I overestimated Hellraisers. Clearly, Nexus here came out on top. Understandably so that they're in your hearts, you know. 1 map down for them so far, and potentially, depending on how Vertigo goes, and Vertigo, we do have to say, it's pretty close. It's 50% to 44, and that's in favor of Nexus, of course. Important to remark on. So who knows? That could just be the map. That might actually go to Nexus, and then we could see another day of 2-0s, which maybe perhaps does still feel a little bit weird, but hey, if Nexus plays that well, then it's deserved, isn't it?
Well, we'll